Family disputes can make us feel isolated and vulnerable. Maybe you're going through a divorce or a legal dispute about your kids. Perhaps you've spent hours on Google or have even posted anonymously on Facebook to see what others have to say. But are you getting the actual information and support that you're looking for? Our podcast, Legal Lounge, aims to dispel misinformation and downright bad legal information to empower anyone with questions about their family, their children, their finances, their marriage, and the law. As a team focused exclusively on family law matters, we aim to help listeners not only with the information they need, but also with the hope that their situation has a solution. Short disclaimer, please note this podcast is for educational purposes only, and the information should not be relied upon as legal advice or for legal purposes. Welcome back to the Legal Lounge. In today's episode, I am so excited to have our nonprofit spotlight be an organization near and dear to my heart. It's called Playing for Others. I was on the board for a number of years, but more importantly, I got to see the growth in my time with that organization of so many teens. And we are so lucky today to have one of those teens here with me today. Her name is Eden. Eden, tell us a little bit more about you.
Yes, I'm so excited to be here. I was in PFO for 5 years and I loved it so much. It meant so much to me, and I just graduated, but it still means so much to me. Mm-hmm. I've lived in Charlotte my whole life, and I do a lot of theater and live performing, so PFO is perfect for me for that because we do a lot in the arts.
Nice.
Yeah.
So PFO stands for Playing for Others.
Yes.
And what is it generally?
For sure. So it's a nonprofit that focuses on teaching teens leadership skills through the arts. So we do stuff like spoken word, visual art, storytelling, and other outings and workshops surrounding the arts throughout the year to kind of focus on personal growth and development in the teens and build relationships. It's really cool.
Yeah, I was going to say, so this might actually be an old tagline. That's how long I've been involved with this nonprofit. But one of the taglines we used a while ago was it helps teens answer the questions of who am I and what can I give of that?
Yes.
And I think that's so deep and powerful because in those years, and I know you're still very young, but in those formative years that you're still kind of in, it's such a hard question to answer. Who am I? Hell, I'm in my late 30s and I still have problems answering that question. But when thinking about that, like figuring out, okay, who am I and how can I give of that? What are ways that PFO helped you tackle those questions?
Yeah, well, one thing that I was so lucky to have with PFO is that PFO gives you so many opportunities, like opportunity after opportunity to try out new things, to do different things, and explore different areas in the arts and just in general with like what you might want to do after high school. Like we did workshops about special effects makeup, and you just get to learn so much. We did a music beat making workshop and we talked to so many like local poets, and they talked to us about their process with poetry writing, and you just get to see so many like niche little things that you might be interested in, that you can find a home in, that you never would have had the opportunity to explore otherwise. Yeah. And that was really special to me because I just got to see so many new people, new things, and new opportunities.
And when we say teen leadership program, this is a program focused on high school students primarily, and really there are teens from all over the community.
Oh yeah, it's all over Charlotte, and we set up like carpool maps and stuff so that the teens can make sure everyone can get a ride and stuff. It's great, but it covers so much of the area. Like, and Charlotte's a big city. Yeah. But we span across the whole thing, the whole spider web.
The whole spider web of Charlotte. Yeah. It's definitely a sprawling city for sure.
Yeah, I do think of it as a spider web.
Yeah. And it's interesting that you say that because in Charlotte, we definitely have pockets, right? There's different neighborhoods. Everything has a little bit different of a vibe. There are some neighborhoods that you can tell, like the socioeconomic status of different families in different areas are very different. And I think that's critical for an organization such as this, especially for high school students and teenagers, to bring teenagers from all different parts of the city to then explore and learn about these new adventures, if you will, new activities together.
Totally. And that builds such good relationships that the teens might not have found in their own little pockets.
Yeah.
And they learn so much. I've learned so much, and I've seen my friends learn so much. The friendships, like, I know I'm going to keep these friendships for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah. And PFO not only tries to connect teens with each other, but there's also the buddy program.
Yes!
I know. I was like, we have not even touched on that yet. One of the best parts of PFO is the buddy program. So Eden, tell us a little bit more about that.
So the buddy program is a part of PFO where teens get paired up. One teen or two teens will get paired up with a young adult or kid that has a disability, and they do activities and go on outings with them all throughout the season. It's so cool.
Yeah.
The relationships that you build with the buddies are just like the relationships that you build with your fellow teens. And the buddies really, like, that's really important to them. And I see how important it is to the buddies throughout, like, over the years. My buddy from my first year, like, wrote me a card to say goodbye to me, like, in my last year, and it was absolutely heartbreaking, but, like, that friendship and that bond means so much. And PFO provided that for us, and I know that through the buddy program, these buddies are also getting opportunities that they never would have found otherwise. Like, we do the buddy show every year where the teens and the buddies put on a musical together, and I've done it for 3 or 4 years, and it's so special. It's just a riot every time. It's amazing.
And they do like a whole red carpet.
Oh yeah, we have a dance party,
buddies, and they're coming down and they're looking good.
Full
I love
fits.
it. I love it. And actually, so selfish plug here. One of my favorites is the trunk or treat, which I know Eden has seen me there all the time.
Every year.
I know. And so what we do is the adults, if you will, we come in our cars and we decorate the trunks of our cars. I do remember, I think like a murder scene one time.
I remember like crime tape, like caution tape. Yeah, for sure.
And I was like, is this appropriate for teens? And I laid it out, and Jen, the executive director, was like, let's just roll with it. And everyone was like, this is the scariest, most fantastic trunk. And people would keep coming back because they're like, it's so scary. I love it.
It's perfect.
Yes.
All of the trunks are always amazing.
Yes,
and the
they
buddies
are.
have so much fun, and the candy is unreal. Plentiful to say the least.
And then there's, oh my goodness, I forget her name, but the person who does the ice cream now and makes it look like an eyeball or whatever.
Oh my gosh.
Yes.
I know whose family that is. I think it's Stella's family, but yeah.
Yeah. And it's great because with those activities, like the buddies may not have been exposed to that opportunity, right?
For sure.
Because trick-or-treating, I feel like a lot of kids aren't exposed to trick-or-treating anymore. Trick-or-treating. Trunk-or-treating. It's both nowadays.
It
Thank
is.
you. But trick-or-treating, just because, yes, we get nervous. Maybe a lot of people don't participate as much anymore as they used to. But really just being able to get into costume and share those memories of getting candy from different people, things decorated.
And you're still in that safe community. Like, you're with PFO, you're fine.
Yeah.
It's the PFO people. It's great.
Yeah, I love that. And over the years, PFO has faced a lot of challenges, and you were one of the teens that had to endure COVID with it, or was that just?
That was fun. My first year in PFO was the COVID year, and that was interesting because they let a very limited amount of teens in that year just because it was so different. And really the only reason I got let in was because I kind of had an existing relationship with the program, and they were like, Eden, we got you. And I was like, thanks guys, appreciate it. Because I grew up in that place. It was very important to me, and those 5 years meant a lot to me. So it was all on Zoom, and it was all through GroupMe. And one thing that PFO takes a lot of time to really foster is our online community that we have through GroupMe, so that even when we're not in a in-person space, we can still have our community, have our people right in our pockets, you know, because home life can be hard, life can be hard, and you need your community. But not having the in-person also made it hard because I felt still pretty distanced from them. And let me not say, having PFO in COVID was like a lifesaver. Oh my gosh. I only am saying that because I've had the other 4 years. And so looking back on it, I realize how different it is. But also having that community in quarantine where you're just so isolated. And I was in 7th grade. Yeah. And it's been a few years.
Yeah, it has been a few years.
Just a few.
Yep.
It was just a really difficult point in my life, but I had PFO and I had Jen and I had my small group. And in PFO, you have your individual little small groups that's your own family within the family. And it was just those people that I could always go to.
Yeah. Building relationships is a natural part of life. But how does the law affect those relationships? Do you want to marry your significant other, but have cold feet from the many divorce horror stories out there? Are you preparing for a custody battle against your ex? That is where Modern Legal comes in. We offer education and knowledge about the law when it affects the relationships near and dear to your heart. To learn more about how family law affects your family, book a consultation with an attorney of our Modern Legal team by visiting our website, emailing us, or calling us at 704-286-6302. Check out the information about Modern Legal Services at modernlegalnc.com. And I'll say from the board side, so I have been involved with PFO for years prior to COVID hitting, and then COVID hit. And the board was extremely nervous.
Yeah.
Because one thing that happens when the world goes into chaos is nonprofits tend to lose funding. And it's not necessarily just funding from, say, grants or from government entities, but it also is from donors, right? Because if something's happening in the world where individuals feel, oh, I need to save more than give out.
And that makes sense.
Which does make sense. Yeah. Then the nonprofits are the first to feel the hit. And so it was a move where on the board's part that first and foremost, obviously we're not PFO will be existing, and we're going to make the responsible financial decisions to make sure it exists not only for 2020 but for years ahead. And we did have to literally tighten that belt strap a little and say, okay, how are we going to make this work? And although I am a millennial and I know about virtual meetings and I know about apps and tech, other members on the board, I will say, weren't as in tune with all the tech.
Sure.
Jen was for sure, who is the executive director.
Queen.
Yes, but how do we then make sure that we provide a community, an experience for the teens that can at least rise to the level that is acceptable for a PFO family,
right,
while also facing the uncertainty of a now COVID-filled world.
Yeah.
And it was a very unique move. And I remember at one point, this was one of my favorites, was when we did ask for help from our donors. And I will say PFO donors are the best donors on the planet, because if the families could, they did, and man, did they do it. And so Jen had the great idea that we could send a thank you to all of them, but she wanted the gifts delivered. So she's like, oh, can we deliver these? And, obviously teens, we're not going to require you to leave your homes during a pandemic, but adults, hey adults, can you leave your homes during a pandemic? And I was like, sure. And of course I got the shift of delivering gifts when it's a torrential downpour out.
No.
And so half the gifts were wet when I left them on the doorsteps. But that's what you do. Mm-hmm. That's what you do, because we wanted to make sure that this nonprofit specifically, and you guys as the teens, did not have to skip a beat in terms of getting the support that PFO provides.
Yeah. And we kept up with those deliveries throughout the online season. I remember different families would take different shifts of delivering the boxes of supplies so that we could get on Zoom and have our full retreats, even though it was online.
Yeah, the supplies deliveries too.
Yes, they were so much fun, honestly. You would like maybe see people from their window and wave at them. But it was adorable.
I remember thinking through everything that we would put in those. That was fun.
They had like little Snapchat Bitmoji versions of us that were like laminated, and you would like pose with them and take pictures.
And then we started doing the outside activities once things started opening up. And I remember, forget who did this too, but all of the board members, we had an avatar created, and I still use that avatar today.
Nice.
On some of my apps.
I remember we did like a name that board member or a match the board member. I remember those avatars. Yeah. Gosh, those were funny.
Yeah, they were. Mine looked pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. I think I looked good in my avatar.
Nice.
But it's great because going back more to the PFO structure, you do have your small group, which has a color.
Yes.
I was a pink board member, which was your group one year. I got, was it the pink boas?
Yes. Oh my gosh. It was you, me, and Talia and Devin.
Yep.
And we had the pink boas, and I think we had pink hats and pink sunglasses.
Yes, I remember that. I was like, if we're going to pink it up, let's pink it up. And yeah, we had a great time. And then I was on the red team, and it's really cool to see the shift because you have your PFO family, you have your colored small group, and then you have your leadership teens. And there's leadership teens in all of the small groups. And then the leadership team also has separate activities.
Yeah.
So tell the listener a little bit more about how that works.
So the leadership team kind of is their own small group, honestly, and then they have their leadership teens or their small group leaders at the top, which are the co-presidents. So then the co-presidents kind of foster a community within the leadership teens, and over the summer before the season, they actually do a leadership retreat where we're ditching the co-presidents. We're shifting actually to a teen exec format. So there's more people at the top of that. So let me go back. It'll be 5 people at the top, the teen exec, and then the leadership team. And then from the leadership team, they will kind of section off into 2 or 3 who will become the small group leaders of each of the small groups. And then they're like the parents of those small groups. And they get their little group of teens, and they form their own small group family. And then they'll do a lot of activities with that family throughout the year. And those teens that are in the small group, if they feel inspired, can choose to apply for leadership the next year and move up. So it's a really cool leadership structure where you're getting to learn from your peers and get inspired.
That is awesome.
I've loved it. Like going through, I remember like my small group leaders and my co-presidents from my first year and how they inspired me, and then how I like worked to try and be more like them. Yeah. And that's what the story is. Like every teen has another teen that they looked up to.
Now, let me advise the listener, it's not just teens and then Jen at the head. There's a whole number of advisors as well, which is separate than the board, because the board helps, we're the executive behind the curtain. But there's also advisors. Tell us more about the advisors.
For sure. So it's like a group, 4 or 5, I think, around there, of these really, really awesome adults that do our activities with us and guide us through the season. And they form relationships with the teens, and they become our friends. Like I remember I was giving all of the advisors a gratitude, which is what we do to like show love, at the end of the year. And I was like, thank you all for teaching me that adults aren't scary.
Yeah.
Because I don't know, I think part of it was because of COVID or whatever, but I had like a authority like issue. I don't know. Adults scared me. They really did. And PFO like showed me that just because I'm a little younger doesn't mean that I need to like hide or anything.
Yeah. And
I think that a lot of teenagers feel that way, honestly, just like a little intimidated, and they don't really feel like they can connect. And the advisors showed me that it's cool.
Yeah.
We can all
we're all people.
We're all fine, and we can have fun, and we can learn from each other. And it's just helped me kind of heighten my view even more.
Yeah. That social hesitancy I feel is apparent in a lot of different groups. Again, I've been involved in PFO for a very, very long time. And so I have seen that very shy teen on day one of the first day of PFO, which you guys start just before school starts. And they are kind of standoffish, don't know what they're getting themselves into, but they showed up because their parents are like, you gotta go.
Yep.
All right. And literally within a year, I can see teens opening up, being like, hey, I can talk to someone, or the wallflower earlier in the year is suddenly the center of the social sphere.
It's my favorite.
And really empowering every teen to have a voice, and not only a voice, but their own unique voice.
100%. PFO really shows that, like, you can be whoever you are, and that's awesome. Because you see someone up there, like, being leadership, like, they're so cool, they're doing their thing, I want to be like them, but I'm not going to be just like them, I'm going to be my own version of myself, but confident. And that's amazing. And that's kind of what PFO celebrates, is you never have to change. We just want to see who you are, which is really beautiful.
Yeah, I agree. So, all right, now you've just graduated the PFO program. What is your next step? What is your next role?
Well, I'm going to college.
You're going to college?
I'm going to college.
Yay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Where are you going?
I'm going to Western Carolina University.
Nice.
I'm studying stage and screen.
Love it.
I got into the program, yes.
Yay.
And one of our PFO alum goes there, Piper. I don't know if you know.
Yeah, actually, I remember Piper,
Perfect. She was only in for 1 year,
Yeah.
but we kind of became friends, and then when I committed, I reached out to her, and she gave me a tour, and she was like, she told me about a program at Western that's similar to the Buddy program, where you can kind of partner with students with disabilities on campus and, like, do activities with them throughout the year. And she was like, Eden, as soon as you get here, like, you're going to do it with me. I was like, yes, ma'am, I'm in. Let's go. I'm ready. So my goal is to, like, find my PFO place at Western and kind of bring, because PFO talks about, like, we're changing our small corner of the world. Then you change your small corner of the world, and then you graduate and you go out, and then you bring the PFO magic wherever you go. And so I'm going to find the places where the PFO magic might be sprouting a little bit.
Yeah.
I'm going to help it. I'm like,
foster its growth.
let's go, guys. Let's go.
There you go.
Dance parties everywhere.
Yes. And let's talk about the dance parties, because I think
That's the key.
and you say PFO love, and it's so interesting because, like, I didn't have PFO when I was a teen, but I know exactly what you're talking about.
You feel it.
You feel it, and it's that radical acceptance of each other, and that you are so comfortable with people, and you can be so much yourself that music comes on, and you literally don't care how you look or what you're doing, you just dance.
Like nobody's watching.
And everyone is doing it together. And suddenly you have these dance parties with not like 5 or 10 people. We're talking 60, 70 plus people.
The teens, the buddies, maybe the advisors, everyone. Everyone's in it.
Maybe even the parents and the other adults. I know board members every once in a while we join in.
We'll do the line dances. We'll do, I love it when the Love on Top comes on. And because PFO, one of our old advisors, Carlos, kind of, I don't know if he came up with it. I feel like he might have. It's this little, like, step line dance to Love on Top, and I call it the PFO dance. And every time it comes on, I'm like, it's the PFO dance, y'all, let's do it.
Nice.
But the dance party, and we start off the first retreat with a dance party, and there's a reason, because it just breaks the ice immediately. You dance, you feel the love, and that's immediately when leadership teens will kind of look to see who's standing on the wall, who's being a little shy. We'll just bring them in, grab them, hey, come dance with me.
Yeah.
And then they immediately feel safe because everyone's dancing around looking stupid. Like, it's great. You can too. It's perfect.
I love that.
Right?
Yeah. So, what would you want the community to know more about as PFO continues to flourish and grow as we're accepting more teens? As you go on to your next chapter?
I would want the community to know that this organization has changed my life, and it's continuing to change so many teens' lives and save so many teens' lives, because teenage years are so hard, and there's so much going on. You're managing school, sometimes a job, friends, like everything is just so complicated and stressful. And to have a place like PFO does save lives. And it saves lives, and then it lets you go to the next level and just continue to grow and change and become amazing. So yes, I want them to know that PFO is saving lives every day, every single day.
And on a flip side, from a former board member, I can say that we try to institute, the leadership tries to institute a very clear process that everyone is supported, everyone is accepted. But then there are some things that we do hear and we do see that we want the teens to be open and honest about. And there are times that we will bring parents in, and we will bring in, say, a mental health provider or other professional to make sure our teens are not just having fun and not just having dance parties, but that all of their needs are properly cared for. And so leadership teams specifically are trained to come to Jen, the executive director, with something that may be concerning, and we go from there to address any of the child's needs.
Oh yeah, always. We have lots of conversations about that. And it just honestly helps the safety of the environment more, I think.
Yeah.
Because you know everyone's going to be taken care of.
Everyone's going to be taken care of. And the adults, we're going to keep everyone else in check as well, right? And I think that's critical, especially with so many concerns out there about child safety. But I see it from more of a family law perspective, right, where there are so many turmoils that adults get themselves into, and let alone society problems. But I mean, you guys are our future. I'm just going to say it. Like, teens are our future.
Yeah.
And we got to take care of you guys. Because if we can foster love and growth in you guys, then you are, like you said, going to take it out into the world, and it's going to grow from there.
Yes.
And I am very excited to share that PFO has been in existence for a very long time. How many years? Do you remember?
So I know that PFO is older than me. So it's 18 now. It's about to be 19.
19 years old.
Years. We just finished our 18th season going on.
Boom. And therefore, there are PFO graduates literally around the world.
Everywhere, yeah. Literally. I wish I could name specifically. I know James Kennedy's in New York, but that's obvious.
Yeah. And so there's so many already out there, PFO teens that have obviously become adults, that are spreading this energy and this growth, if you will.
Yeah.
And it's only becoming more infectious, I like to say.
It is. I'm starting to sometimes I'll bring up PFO to random people and they'll know what I'm talking about. And I'm like, wow.
This
is a big deal. Yes.
So yeah, well, Eden, thank you so much for joining me here today on the Legal Lounge.
This was amazing.
And we hope to see you kicking ass and taking names.
Woo!
In your college years, yes.
I hope to see it too. It will happen.
It will happen. One last thing. If someone wanted to learn more about PFO, where could they learn more?
playingforothers.org or our Instagram, Playing for Others, the number 4.
The number 4.
Yes.
Yeah. Awesome. See you there.
Of course, yeah.
Well, thank you for joining us today in the Legal Lounge. Before you go, we are excited to share a piece of spoken word after this.
I used to think that love meant to live my life like an open book, allowing anyone to join my journey.
I didn't even mind when they bent my pages to mark their place in my story. But when my spine started to break and those precious pages began to slip away,
I found that my story,
my life,
was being written over by someone else's notes.
I didn't even recognize me anymore. I searched, but nowhere in my chapters was the word
no.
And no felt scary to type, to text,
to
to
say
say
in response to someone else.
Look how close in the book on a friend's finger.
Closing off myself from love, from adventure. I mean, I love people.
But
I wasn't loving myself.
Nowhere near equal.
That's when I realized boundaries are the book covers to our hearts. It's not about closing the world off. It's about protecting what's inside so that we can be even more of who we are.
It lets us know where you end and I begin. It lays out the map of our relationship, so we both feel safe to navigate the journey we take together.
No matter what the relationship is, because the truth is, love can turn into resentment real quick. When the plot thickens and there's no distinction between your responsibility and your willingness,
the story becomes a guilt trip, a ghosted shipwreck of missed calls and texts.
Beautiful ending, abandoned by avoidance.
But what if there didn't need to be an ending at all?
Bookmark a boundary so I don't get overwhelmed by taking on others' emotions as my own. Bookmark a boundary.
The story doesn't stop. It's just on pause for my own downtime to rest and cultivate joy.
Bookmark a boundary for my life's content. Choosing when I share on social media because none of us owe anyone access to our own personal library. Bookmark a boundary
to be present. To see each person fully, clearly, without confusion and blurred sentences.
There are the fences with gates offering invitation only when we say it's okay to come over.
It's a privacy we have a right to. It's a space we deserve to be our own main character.
And celebrate our autonomy through respect and mutual understanding.
Boundaries are the binding that holds it all together. Your story?
And mine.
It's time to redefine.
No, as an act of being kind.
And I want to be kind.
To myself.
And others.
I mean, I love people. I found that this story is so much richer.
So much more alive.
When I get to decide how it unfolds for my life.
Make sure that my wants and needs let me to have
more
capacity to love.
Even deeper.
Because having healthy boundaries
doesn't cut you off from love. It grants you the space big enough for every book to fit on the shelf.
For every story to be held in a space where trust
has room to read our needs.
To love you.
And me.
Simultaneously.
Thank you for taking the time to listen to our discussion. To learn more about me and the Modern Legal team, go to our website, modernlegalnc.com, or check out the links in our show notes to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, LinkedIn, and YouTube. You can also call us at 704-286-6302. If you have been intrigued by the conversation and would like us to continue our discussions, please subscribe to the podcast and leave us a review. See you next time.